Long before the skyscrapers of New York or the cathedrals of Paris, long before the steam engine or the printing press, there rose a civilization that would shape the Western world for over 1,000 years. Its language, laws, military, and vision of power would echo far beyond its borders. This is the story of Rome, how a small city on the banks of the Tiber River rose to dominate the known world, and how it ultimately collapsed under the weight of its own ambition. To understand Rome, we must go back not to emperors or legions, but to legend. Rome, according to myth, was founded in 753 BCE by twin brothers Romulus and Remus. Suckled by a she-wolf and destined to rule, the myth was violent. Romulus killed Remus, named the city after himself, and set the tone for a civilization forged in blood and ambition. The early Romans lived under monarchy, ruled by kings of both Roman and Etruscan origin. But in 509 BCE, after the expulsion of the tyrant king Tarquin the Proud, the Roman Republic was born. Power would now rest not in one man, but in the Senate, a body of aristocrats charged with guiding the city. For the next several centuries, the Roman Republic grew through cunning, war, and resilience. They fought neighboring tribes, then distant ones. They adapted enemies' strengths and made them Roman. They did not simply conquer, they absorbed. But the Republic was never stable. It was a system built for a city, not an empire. As Rome expanded into Greece, North Africa, and Spain, internal tensions deepened. The rich grew richer. The poor, poorer. The Senate bickered, and the Republic stumbled. Then came the generals. Gaius Marius, then Sulla, then Pompey, and finally Julius Caesar, each man wielding not only armies, but ambition. In 49 BCE, Caesar famously crossed the Rubicon River with his legions, effectively declaring civil war. Rome, once proud of its republic, was crumbling from within. In 44 BCE, Caesar was assassinated by senators, hoping to save the republic. They failed. Rome descended again into civil war, and from its ashes rose a single man, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. In 27 BCE, he was granted the title Augustus. The Republic, in name, still existed. In reality, Rome had become an empire. Augustus ruled wisely and carefully. He stabilized the state, reformed the military, and launched a golden age known as the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. For over 200 years, Rome prospered. Roads stretched from Britannia to Egypt. Aqueducts brought water to cities. Law and order were maintained across thousands of miles. But peace came with a price. The power of the emperor became absolute. Succession was unstable, often violent. Emperors ruled by divine right, but many were far from divine. Caligula, Nero, Commodus names, remembered more for madness than leadership. In the 2nd century CE, Rome reached its territorial peak under Emperor Trajan. From the Atlantic Ocean to the Persian Gulf, the empire spanned 3 continents. But the cracks had begun to show. Plagues ravaged the population. Economies faltered. The army, once Rome's pride, grew more expensive and more political. In the 3rd century, Rome entered a crisis, time of civil wars, short-lived emperors, and near collapse. Then came Diocletian. He restructured the empire, dividing it into east and west. He ruled with an iron hand, stabilizing what he could. And then came Constantine, the first Christian emperor. He moved the capital to Byzantium, later named Constantinople, and reshaped the spiritual identity of the empire forever. But even as Christianity spread, old enemies returned. In the west, barbarian tribes, once allies, now threats, crossed borders that Rome could no longer defend. In 410, the Visigoths sacked Rome. In 455, the Vandals followed. And in 476 CE, the Western Roman Empire officially fell when the last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by a Germanic warlord. But Rome did not vanish. In the east, the Byzantine Empire continued for nearly another 1,000 years. It preserved Roman law, Greek culture, and Christian faith. It too would fall in 1453, when the Ottomans took Constantinople. And yet, even now, Rome endures. In our languages, in our legal systems, in the arches that hold up our cities, and the republics that guide our governments. Rome never truly died. It simply transformed. It was never just a place. It was an idea of power, of order, of destiny. This was the Roman Empire, from republic to ruin.